What's going on there, fellow YouTubers? This is Chris from the Anomalies channel. Guys, got another really cool one for you today. I watched this video not long ago. It was on the same picture that I'm going to show you today. The guy didn't have a link to the pier number, so I couldn't find it, but I'm almost positive I had this on my external hard drive, and I did look it up, and sure than heck I did have it. I looked at it to begin with, and there is structures in this picture. It's just a cool picture. It's very pretty to begin with, but we'll get into that. This is the picture you'll get, okay? And it's from Pier 14462, small mounds of Christ, Planitia, or Planetier, depending on how you want to pronounce this, and it's from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, or the MRO. And it tells you, of course you can get the TIFF, and you can get the JPEG, so on and so forth. Now, this is a cool picture. I mean, you look at this picture here, and it's just neat. Look at this thing. It's, but I'm puzzled. I'm going, why are they making it look like there's water here? It just doesn't make any sense. Now, the guy did actually, and now I think this has been done several times as far as I'm going to call this, for lack of a better word, because I think he even called this water. But you guys know as well as I do, they're not going to admit that there's water there. So red flags went off my head automatically. But anyway, let's just call it a coastline, just for argument's sake. I'm going to show you that what led me to believe to really dig into this picture, because you can see what looks like squares, and you go, well, that's really nothing. All right, so I was okay with that. I really didn't get too much into this, but check this out. I mean, just by looking at just this area right here. Let's see if I can zoom into it a little bit here. Look at this right here without doing a thing to this picture. Look at these multiple rectangles and squares and things all over the place right here on the edge. Now, I'm looking at that, I'm going, wow, this is just insane. And there's no doubt. So I'm going to show you that right now. But, so the guy didn't have the pier number, and again, I'm okay with that. So like I said, I did look it up, and here we go. So, let me explain. It says, the way the caption released with this image is, the suggested area in this observation is characterized by a group of cones, shield-like features, and round mounds. They are they are a few hundred meters to kilometers in diameter, but their heights are unknown, And you can see the release date here is 7/15/2011, released July 13th, actually released to the public. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, so basically these are, you have to understand, a lot of these are black and white, but they actually throw color over these, and of course, as far as I'm concerned, they're throwing all kinds of manipulations and masking these pictures. This is no secret. We've known this for quite a while. So now, let me get into this picture, because I think you'll think this is pretty wild. What I was concerned about, because of the red flags, was more or less the blue area here. Okay? But let me show you something I think is pretty neat. The reason why I decided to dig more, well, I would have dug more into it anyway, but I want to show you something. I'm just going to rotate this a little bit, about 30 degrees, and we're going to jump into this right here. Now, I noticed a shape in here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but let me just tilt a little bit more. Right here in this area. Now, right here, right there, it looks like there's something going on there, some kind of weird shape. And a lot of this is pixelation, so I get that. But let me just go to the extreme, get rid of this here, and I just want to center on what's in this area. Okay, so I'm looking at this and I went, whoa, what the hell is that? Check this out. Look at the shape of whatever this is. Looks like it's got this weird dome thing right here, and going on and on and on. This whole area is loaded, and this is right here. I mean, this has just got features everywhere. Look at this. On the bottom here, it's got all kinds of... Now, let me just darken this up a little bit, because I get to think here. Now, check that out. Now, it's still a little grainy and stuff like that, but look at the way this thing has this curvature. Comes down. The shapes of these things are just insane. So, now I change it here to just go almost light gray, and you can see the shape of whatever this is. Okay. Go back. Just keep going to different... Now, I lighten up this here and darken up a lot of this. If you notice... This right here is all lighter. I bring down the tone of those so we can try to blend it and get it to... Because they'll try to do that, guys. They'll put like a light area here and dark here, vice versa. And so if there's something right here, that's how it throws off your eyes. You can't tell what it is. So I lightened up a lot of this stuff, and you can just see what looks like, well, there's a possibility there's something here. But you can see it looks like it's rounded, comes down, comes down. Look at the shape of this thing. Okay? So, red flags again. Now, I don't know if this is all trees or not, because you can see see the way they almost look like, well, I'm going to use the term pine tree, because they look like a shape of one, but check them out. They look like all trees in this area. And I wouldn't be surprised if all of this was. But now, keep something in mind. Look at this what I'm talking about. And we can actually back out a little bit, clear it up a little bit. See that right there? Jump back in. And you can see it looks like it has a dome there and some funky shaped stuff here. And okay, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, again, it's not the best clarity picture, but you understand. Check that out. There's clearly structures in here. But let me just say this. Let me back out. Look where it's at. In the blue area. Okay. Again, red flag. And I said, oh, there's something got to be much more in this. And I'm right. And I'm going to show you that right now. I'm going to go back to regular picture. Come down here. Now, this was what kind of puzzled me. This little darkened area right here. Now, just for the heck of it, I'm going to rotate this about 55 degrees. Because I want to show you this thing, what I found. Now, well, let's do it this way. Bring it up. Now, check this thing out. I noticed this and I was just like, what the hell does that? It looks like some sort of dome and it's very reflective. And I was just, it's actually casting a shadow. See that? Looks like a darker one here and there's something here. But look at the way it's very faint, but there's like a square right behind it and right under it. So there's something right there, like a piece of platform, and this thing's on it, and it's casting a shadow. But what had me really wanting to dig into this was this item right here. What the hell is that? You can clearly see it looks like it goes like this here, and is perfectly shaped. I don't know if these are structures or design of this larger structure. I don't know what this is, but it's all like in a circular pattern. And there's multiple things on top. And it comes down to this area over here. Now, I'm saying, whoa, let me just go ahead and darken this up a little bit so we can, okay. Now you can see this a hair bit better. And you can see it. But what's crazy about it, and I want to show you this here because I want to see if you guys can actually pick this out. Let me do it this way. Let me rotate again. Go back to the original. This way there's no distortions or anything. Sometimes you can rotate these and you'll have a distortion. So I don't want to do that. I want to see how you can see these lines. So it's not complete, even though it's, well, it's not it. Let's put it back at the 90 degree. Right there. So, this is the same, well, no we're not. My bad. Turn it back to the 0 degrees, I'm sorry. We're going to use the 90 in a second, but I want to go into this because I want to show you guys something. Now, although you're going to get these pixelations, but do you see these other lines in here? All of these little weird lines and stuff like that? You think, well, compression marks. No. No. This is a very large city. And I'm about to show you that right now. This thing, this whole area is nothing but a large city. Okay. Now, keep in mind, they did say that this is hundreds of meters to kilometers in diameter. Now, I don't know what part they're talking about, but I'm going to say that this area is huge. Now, of course, I'm not doing anything scientific, but let's say it's in kilometers. Even 50 kilometers, 31 miles across. Now, of course, that's just a quick way of doing it, but you can get the idea. Once I show you what I show you, you're going to be just like, oh, yeah, there's clearly something different here that doesn't make any sense. But let me just zoom in for a moment, and I want to show you this. Again, just by zooming into this, it looks like nothing but pixelations, and you'd be right to a certain degree. They're not. Again, it's a very, very large city. Watch this. I'm going to put this just like this, only because this is where the sun's coming off. Now, again, you can still see that other anomaly here, right here, and this looks like a, I don't even know how to explain it, a dome, a highly reflective dome of some sort, and you've got this other piece right here. So I'm thinking to myself, whoa, there's something clearly in this picture. This whole thing, look at it all. Look at this. This is all city. This whole area, this whole blue area. Look at this. Just take a good look at these structures. Now, I'm going to enhance this a little bit more, especially right here. This really stands out. And look at the way these things are. These are not just compression marks. Look at this. Comes out. Look at this. The way that everything is just... There's actually ground. There's foundations. There's, you know, things like we'd have. Let's say like in the White House, you got this huge property around it. But just check it out. I'm just going to go down here. And it's all over the place. This is going into that quote-unquote shoreline. And you can see where they've actually messed with this picture. Now, check this out. See if I can find it. Right here. This is a lot more larger structures and a lot more taller, if you will. Now, I'm going to go right into the extreme here. Back out just a hair. But check out the difference. Look at the shapes in here. Look at this. Right here. Goes around. Goes like this. Goes around. This is all... These are like multiple height... You know, with multiple height, like... structures, whatever they are, whatever these things are. But now let me do this. Let me rotate this a hair bit more because I'm going to show you guys something. Well, let's just jump right into any section here. I want to show you this. And at first, you got to get your eyes adjusted to this because you're just thinking on a, depending on the scale you're looking at, thinking you're going to see something very large. No, in fact, you're not. You're going to see. Whoops. Okay. Now, this is at 400%, but let me just back out just a hair. Check this stuff out. Just look at anything here. You can just, I'll just stop it right here. Just look around at the shapes. There's nothing set like just complete squares. There's nothing there. It's everything. Look at this. Little roads, structures. Just look at all. This thing is amazing. You can see nothing but structures all over this picture. This, now I want to bring this to your attention as well. If you've noticed, I'm going to throw some color in this a minute. See if I can't find it. Let me go back to this picture here. Let me see. Well, let's rotate it because it might be easy to see this. I want to make a point real quick. Let's do the 90 degree. All right. Let me go to the extreme here just for a second. You can see here they've been stitched. These are multiple pictures stitched together. See this right here? Going off here, down. You can actually see the lines. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this is this. This anomaly, if you can find it again. Let me go back up. Okay. Just want to make sure here. Okay. All right. This anomaly should be right here. Okay. If you notice there's a shadow coming off of this. Okay. These are separate pictures. Right here. You can see the actual seam of the stitching. Okay. And it stops right here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 pictures right here alone. Now, if you notice shadow coming, it looks like the sun is coming from this direction onto this dome. Over here, there's something raised off the ground, like it's on a mountain hill or a hillside, and it's got something, a shadow under it coming, it looks like the sun appears to be coming from this way. From like a northwest position coming this way. Now, there's some other anomalies here that are sticking up. I don't know if I can find them. Let me see if I can find these things here. They're in here somewhere. Right here. Right there, it appears like it's going this way. Like it's casting a shadow like it's coming from this way as well. But it's just a little bit more than this one is. So now it makes you wonder, these were definitely taken at different times of a day. Shadow here, shadow coming this way. One going this way, one going this way. And this one here appears to be a little bit more this way. So it was definitely taken, the sun probably just went like this here. Was going like this when they were taking the pictures. Okay. And you can look at this. You can still see all of these little lines and stuff like that. Keep in mind, this is not a rock. This is an aerial view, and you can see this. There's something right there, too. I don't know if you guys seen this, but this is also casting a shadow. Right here. There's some real thin shadow or something. But anyway, that doesn't matter. But all of these things in here are definitely 100% all structures. And I'm going to back out. Look at it all. These are not just patterns in the ground or in the picture itself. These are all, and you can see the stitching right here. These are multiple pictures, and this stuff is actually all structures. Now I'm just going to go over this slowly. These are not compression marks, because like I said, I can zoom out, and let me show you this here. Okay. Keep showing you here. Just want to do a little going over, so to speak. Now let me just go one more step here. Okay. This is the a little bit sharper version. Okay. Now, again, if you look at this right here, this is all completely... Let me see if I can find this other thing here. That first piece I showed you right here. Check this thing out. This was just amazing to me because it looks like it's going over. I don't know if this is like some sort of bridge or something, but right here, you can see it coming off this round area. Well, this, I don't know if it is completely round because it looks like it's come straight here and then around, but comes over to here, and you can see the shape of this landmass, and is 1, 2, 3, something larger there, and it connects and goes over to this part. But look at the shape of this, like a giant teardrop, and something in the center. These are all structures. The whole area is completely structures. That's what's insane. This whole area. Look at this. Now, I can, like I said, I can zoom into this here. This was kind of cool to me because this right here looks like there's like multiple, like, I don't know if I want to call them a highway or freeways, but they're very long. Look at this. Keeps going all the way down, and then it terminates. There's another one here over on this side, but these might be just separate structures, and they appear to be like one line or like a freeway or some crap like that. But when you look at these things, look at 1, 2, 3 in a row. Look at the right here. It goes boom, like another piece of. I'm going to use the term island, like with multiple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And keep in mind, because this is so blurred, that there could be 50 structures right here in a row, all in this little section here alone. Look at this right here. Just, I mean, you can't go over everything in this picture. It's clearly, you just can't do that. But knowing the size of these things, and I'm going to show you this one area. Just this one area alone. Now watch this. Let me back out. How many structures do you think is sitting in this area alone? And then take a look at the size of this picture. How big is this? This thing would have to be many miles across. Let's put it that way. That's the only thing I can think of. Let me do this. That's the only thing I can think of. This is many miles across. From this, we can go vertically here, or diagonally rather. From here to here, this is many miles across. This is not something that's just like a quarter mile in the total length of this. It's not. This thing is huge. And just by seeing these, and I'm going to show you this here. I'm just going to show you what I did here just by going, let me do this. Let me go back over to this other piece here. Zoom in. And then the other really strange set of structures. So, I mean, these things are everywhere. And I can go back out of this, and this is the first enhancing I did right here. And then I went and I started again. But you can see even here, there's plenty of it here to see, guys. It's all over the picture. Now, most of this, I believe, the darker stuff here is forest. And there's obviously structures in between. Now, let me go back to, where's that other piece? I don't even find it. Look at this right here. What is that? And because I did this a couple ways for a reason, so we can bring out different things. But whatever this thing is, has got to be huge. Sitting right here. Here's another weird looking thing. It looks like this giant structure kind of thing with a framing. See that? Whatever it is, it's symmetrical. It goes across and then down. On this side, goes across and then down. Whatever that is, it's got to be huge. And this is on the ground. This is, well, actually, this was closer to the ground. I should say, well, this, whatever this is. But you can clearly see how they're hiding this stuff. And all of a sudden, you can pop it. And right here, right here. This stuff is everywhere. There's that raised area I told you about. Had a shadow. And here's the other... that weird-looking ball-like thing. Right there. Here. So, I mean, you guys get the idea. This thing is huge. This whole area is just unreal. Go back to this. Look at this. It's absolutely everywhere you look. And like I said, it's not just a consistent pattern like a compression mark. Look at these right here. Like I said, 1, 2, 3. This is the way the the property line, if you will. I mean, look at this. There's just all different kinds of structures. Just this alone, watch this. Look at all of these here. These are clearly not just little compression marks. This is everywhere. And because this looks like a raised piece of land, now if you look at it again, it's darker hairs. This is what they do. They kind of change the contrast in different areas to totally throw you off. Look at right here. And there's another thing I want to point out too. I just noticed these before, and before I even did this. Let me see if I can go back. Rotate. Let me see if I can do it this way. I didn't notice, but check out the size of this area here. It looks like it's all rounded. And it looks like this part's overlaid, like they try to do something, but you can just see the way this thing is like almost completely round. See that? And so what they're doing is they're trying to throw your eyes off by doing these different color contrast patterns. Well, the color is not here now, but to begin with. And this stuff is all over the place. And I think that's just awesome. So let's jump back in and just have a look. Like I said, next to this area right here, look at this. This is not just random. This is clearly structures. And of course, you guys can give me your take on it, but this is just amazing. This has to be one of the largest cities I've ever found. This thing is immense. Now, again, how big would these things? Let's concentrate on just this piece right here, and let's just jump out. How many structures are all around this thing? I mean, come on. How many structures are around this area alone? How big would this have to be? This whole area, because believe it or not, you guys can actually do this yourselves. Go into this picture yourself. You'll find all kinds of structures all in here, too. It's everywhere. I wanted to concentrate on this fake blue area because there's clearly things in here. And like I said, I'd love to get your take on it and tell me what you guys think. Is it nothing but trick of the eye? Me personally, don't think so. It is absolutely a structure. Oh, it's many thousands of structures, of course. But if you just look at just some of these things coming off of, look at this, just roads, just buildings, structures. I mean, you name it. It's all over this. And what I tried to do, too, is I tried to equalize these pictures somewhat to try to throw that so there's not so much of a balance thrown off as far as extreme contrast and extreme darkness. So, and you can just see this stuff. Look. These densely areas, I believe these are a lot of trees and forest and whatever else may be around it, but it's also the manipulation. So, yeah. So I'm just going to go through this. Look at this. Look at the way all of these here are in a row. Come on. There's just no way this is just merely compression marks and artifacts. Look at this. There's just no way around it. This is just one large city, and this is just insane. This is just cool. Because we know, come on, we know when you see stuff like this, you know there's definitely something other than us in the universe or in the solar system, and I think we all know that by now, that there's much more going on here than meets the eye. So, let me just go like this. Sometimes by doing that now, you can see very lightly there's actually raised land masses or just a lot larger structures. Now, for all we know, this could be these areas here. Look at this. Looks like a dome type thing, goes down. All these little structures all in a row. See this? These could be a lot larger structures. These could be giant facility. Power plant. Could be anything. How do we know? I don't. But look at this right here. Look at the almost. Well, let's get this in the center. Check this out. Right here. Look at the shape of this thing. Looks like it goes off to here. Look at all of these things. There's thousands of them. This is not just something that's just like, oh, it's just a little, artifacts. This is the absolute real deal here. I can go on. I mean, I want to leave this picture up on Google Plus because I want you guys to examine this. So I will leave some screenshots up there for you guys as usual. And you guys can. Now, I didn't really concentrate a whole lot on here. You'll see if you look up here and down here. What I do is I try to really balance it out here because I really wanted to show because this. Well, I'm going to say this is closer, but it kind of appears closer to the camera, if you will. Not that I think it really is. Look at this right here. I just noticed that. I mean, you could just look this thing over and just go, wow, this is just crazy. Look at this. And it goes, looks like it goes into the ground. But what does this all over this picture? Look at this. I think we're seeing here one of the largest cities I've been able to pull out. And this is just crazy. Again, here's that other piece. And it looks like it goes off to this higher ground. Like it looks like it's on a mountainous plateau type thing. Goes over to here, and there's 1, 2, 3 that I can see. One large structure, and then 1, 2, 3 little ones. It goes like you can see the shape, and then it jumps over to this piece. But look at the shape of this. Well, it looks like something with a dome and something connecting to that. This stuff is everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. And if you think it's a compression mark, we'll just do this. We're nowhere even zoomed into this. You can see all of this. It's everywhere in this picture. Everywhere. Here's that big dome light reflecting, and there's that other crazy little thing I showed you to begin with. Right there. And this stuff is all over the place. So you guys give me your take, and of course, like I said, you will get the Google. I'll put this up on the Google Plus, and you guys, and I'm going to have the enhanced as well as the blue filtered, as well as this. I can put the light one there, but I want you to see more of the these structures more individually, and by making it darker, it seems like it just kind of, you can really pull this out. See this right here? Now, if you look at just this area alone, like I said, look at the shape 1, 2, 3, and look at the shape that they're sitting in. Right here, look at this one. This large structure, whatever that is. Look at all of this. Pretty cool stuff, guys. I was just amazed when I pulled this stuff out. It's just incredible. And like I said, even if you were to look at just this one simple little area, well, let's do this one here. Just this area alone, again, we could be looking at just these two right here. These two little round things adjacent to each other. Those could be like 5, 6, 10 objects a piece in one area. So now, just by looking at just this area alone, how big is this spot? And I'll slowly back out. How big is this whole area? So, yeah, I think it's many miles across. And, yeah, everywhere you look, there's just something in there. And even going way up to this part here, you can just see these. Just everywhere in the picture. Anyway, guys, I'm not going to try to make this too long. I just want to really show this to you guys and give you different angles as to what this stuff could be. And by looking at it at different angles and rotating, you can see, like, just, you know, sometimes things just look a little differently. Sometimes when you turn stuff really around, you just get totally lost. You can't, it totally goes away. Any angle you put this at, I mean, this thing, and you can see, again, you can see the stitching in these pictures right here. So there's multiple pictures. This is the reason why I think we have shadows on this side. And then when you come over to this anomaly here, with the dome, you have a shadow this way. So it was taken at different times of day, and there you go. Here's that weird-looking frame thing. Here's this other large, whatever that thing is, this structure thing. And we can go, even by doing this, where it's like kind of like just generally like a general, you know, blurring over, you can still see this stuff. Let it sit here a minute, let you guys eyeball this. All right, guys, as usual, leave a comment down below. Share this video. Give me some thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, this is probably one of the largest ones I've seen yet. And it's insane. There's just thousands and thousands of structures. And it makes you wonder, okay. And it makes you, in one way, you're angry. Because our space, you know, any of the space agencies around the world, you know, they're just lying, period. And the fact that they are, it aggravates you. But on the other side of the token, you're going, wow, we're just part of something much larger. This is incredible. And I'm just, you know, I'm just at awe when you look at some of these things, because this stuff is everywhere. It's not just like I said, it's not just a simple, maybe a little artifact, compression mark. It's nothing like that. There's clearly things in here. And when you see it, you just, wow, this is just cool. Like I said, you can just stop and look at one section, just one area alone, and you can clearly see they're just not naturally made. You can see that they're intelligently put there. Right here. And there you go. This is at 400%, which gets borderline, starts to really pixelate the picture. And it's bad enough we have to cut through the manipulation to begin with. So we definitely don't want more pixelation or distortion. We want to try to really pull this stuff out. But let me do it this way. Anyway, guys, like I said, I don't want to make this super long. I just want to show you this and get your thoughts on it. And I'm going to zoom way in for a moment. That's at 500. Well, you can see what happens when you go to 600. Right there, look at large domes. All different little structures all around here. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. Boom, 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 boom. All over this. Look at the way these structures are here. Now I'm going to back out a little bit more to clean it up a little bit more. And we can just keep backing out step by step. And these things do not change, guys. It's not like it's going, okay, it is some kind of artifact in the picture, because you wouldn't see that when you zoom back out. I can still see them. So anyway, guys, give me your take on it. Let me know what you think. Because like I said, I was just like totally blown away when I started to dissect this picture and enhance it. It was just crazy. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Again, comment down below. Like I said, just go ahead and share it. I'm going to have these pictures again with the most enhanced with the black and white, as well as the red and the blue filters. So you guys can check for that later on this evening or early this morning. Probably this evening. Last time I couldn't do it because I had a long night at work. So we're going to try to get that back up there for you. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Always appreciate it. And I will see you